Okay, so Ollama is an open source tool by Meta, like OpenAI. So what benefit we are getting using Ollama is that you can use Ollama and you don't have to pay anything for the API keys. But there are some few prerequisites that you need to follow in order for that particular thing to work. So we'll discuss on those things. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay, I am sharing my screen and okay. So Ollama, we are seeing how we can use Ollama. So Ollama is from Meta, Facebook. Okay. So first step is to basically download the Ollama. So for downloading Ollama, there is a link which you can follow. So this is the link Ollama. I think I have shared it on the WhatsApp, right? So you can download the Ollama from this link. And once the download is done, second thing is to set up the environment variables. Okay. So how do you set up the environment variables? It is like, common for most of the things like Java Home, and all those things that you do while setting up the environment variable, right? So you have to go in your path and add it there. So you can see here, I have already, after downloading the Ollama, I have already set it up the path variable basically. So in program, Ollama is installed. So that's what I have given in the path environment variables. So once you do that, once you set up your environment variables after downloading, what you have to do, so you can go in any, you can open the command prompt, and at any location you can open and then just type Ollama version. So if it is installed properly, it will give you Ollama version, or the current Ollama version that you have installed. So this is how you basically install the Ollama, set that up in the environment variables, and once you check it, then you are basically good to go and use Ollama. Okay. Now I have written the code. I'll show you that code. And okay. So this is the code. And yeah, you can see the whole code is same. Whatever langchain code we have discussed, right? Whole code is same. And I have written this steps also. So you have to first download the Ollama that we have discussed, set up the path in the environment variable that also we have done, and then then check Ollama version in your command prompt. And after that, from your terminal, you have to run these command Ollama pull llama 3.1. So it will basically pull this llama LLM and then embedding model, nomic embed text model. So let's try to run this. So I'll open a new terminal. PowerShell is there. Now what I have to do, I have to activate virtual environment. So venv, and then scripts activate dot bat. So virtual environment is activated. Now what I have to do, I have to pull this. It will take some time. It will pull successful. Then I have to pull the embedding model also. So I will pull embedding model. So I have pulled the embedding model also for the Ollama. Now, whatever I have shown you, everything is same. And here, where we are, uh, initializing the LLM, you can see here, right? Only this code and this particular code changes. Rest all the code will be same. What we have discussed in our last class using langchain and openai APIs. Okay. So here in embeddings, you will be providing ollama embeddings, and model you have to mention the model name that we have just pulled, right? So model name was nomic embed text. That is the model name. And in LLM, you have to use chat ollama, this particular class. And here model, you have to give this particular model name. So in LLM, you have to give this model. In embedding model, you have to give this name. And rest, everything else will be same. So so this particular code is been set it up using ollama. Let's try to run it, whether we can run it now. So it will, what it is doing, it is basically taking the knowledge base as the text that we have given, right? Text file demo.txt, information about Rajshekhar, right? Rajshekhar is located in New Jersey. Rajshekhar hobbies are coding, playing table tennis. Rajshekhar favorite food is any non-veg dish. So what we will do now, in this particular code, we are asking this query from LLM. Who is Raj? What is his profession? What are the hobbies? If you don't find answer in the document, say you don't know. Don't try to make up answer. Now let's try to run this script. So Python, and the name is langchain underscore ollama. Langchain underscore ollama. Okay, very good. What happened? Cannot import chat ollama from langchain. Okay, what is this error? Okay, pip install langchain ollama. Langchain ollama. This we have to install pip command, using pip command. The requirement already satisfied. Okay. Langchain ollama tools.py. Why it is referring there? Okay, some wrong reference is there, I believe. Import, 1 second, guys. From langchain or langchain ollama tools. That is fine. Chat ollama. This should work actually. This is done. Then let's try to run it one more time. Otherwise, we'll ask ChatGPT. Okay, it is telling that this import is not working. Okay, last resort, go to ChatGPT. This is the error, and this is the code. PyCache folder after renaming. Okay, we'll do one thing instead of this. I think that might be the reason, because of the wrong input. It has to import from ollama langchain underscore ollama. Okay, let's see what it produces. So script is running fine for now. Let's see if it is able to generate the response. Last time also we have seen it was taking some uh, too much time, right? So that in that, okay, ollama model latency. Okay. Hmm. So it is basically giving couple of solution. First of all, to use smaller chunk size and to use basically newer model version, and then either persist the vector DB first and then refer it from there. So hmm, I don't know why it happens in the demo only. See, it has provided the result, right? Last time also, before the demo, when I ran the program, it ran within 4 to 5 seconds. Okay, so see, it is what the ollama is generating. Who is Raj? His full name is not mentioned, but he is referred to as Raj Shekhar. Profession not mentioned. Hobbies, coding, and playing table tennis. So it was able to basically generate the output from the given context. Now here let's reduce the chunk size as 100 and let's give chunk overlap as 20 characters. Now if we'll run, let's see how much time will take. And instead, one more suggestion was there, right? When we are retrieving, so here we have to mention top, how many top chunks needs to be used there. So search quarks, whatever is mentioned here, k equal to 3 is something which means that refer to top three matching chunks based on the queries. So if we try to use that, uh, let's see if something happens. Otherwise, this is because of the model. Last time also we have seen OpenAI model we have to update and then it started working because this latency sometimes happened because of the model. Okay. Hmm. Let's try to use this model. So if I'll be using this model, what I have to do, I have to pull this model. Okay, it is able to generate the result, but again, it is not that fast. So let's try to do this. Ollama pull this particular model. Let it pull. And then here I have already mentioned, and let's after pulling this model, let's try to run this query again. Let's see whether the latency issue gets resolved or not. So meanwhile, you guys can also install Ollama side by side, because I think it is some 1.2 GB installer is there. I'm not sure, somewhere around 1.5. So it'll take some time for you to install. But yeah, I mean, there is little bit, you know, latency you may find. So we have to basically see it as 2 GB. Let it first get downloaded completely, and then we will try to run this program with this model. Let's see if there is a, okay. So this is loaded now, and if I'll try to run this script again, let's see if something happens. If not, then we have to think on the chunk strategy or chunk size probably. Generally, it doesn't used to take this much time. I don't know why it is taking. Or who is Raj? If we'll try to reduce the query size, I don't think model updation helped here. I don't know, something is wrong, because I was running this code yesterday and it was running within 2 to 3 seconds. Uh, it is taking quite a long time actually, which it should not take. Okay, it has provided the answer, but yeah, it is late. Okay, fine. So I think I'll have a look onto this code, separately after the session. And if I'll find something, I'll just post that in the chat window. Now, what we will do next is, so what we have done so far, we have created the Python code with langchain, right? Simple basic use case. And we have seen how to use Python. Okay, so Python plus langchain plus open API. Now we'll see Python plus langchain plus ollama. That this is also something that we have seen. Now we will see Python coding using langchain, using OpenAI, and then creating the tools on the fly. Okay, so this is what we are going to see next. So let me create one more Python module, langchain OpenAI tools.py. Okay, so we will write code for this. And what we are going to do, we are going to create tools, and the system, I mean the tools in the form of function, and then we will decide LLM. We will ask LLM to decide which tool it wants to select instead of writing the if else logic, right? So steps, necessary imports. I will write down the code map here. Okay. Uh, First is imports. Second is setting up OpenAI API key, because I'll be using OpenAI in this. Then loading and splitting of the data, correct? Then creating the embeddings, then initializing the LLM, then creating the retrieval chain. Yes, it is. See, I think Copilot is there, so it is auto suggesting. And then no, now what we will do here at this step, we will define the tools, custom tools. Okay, define. And next step will be, uh, before user query, we will create an agent also here. Create AI agent. Okay, and then the this user query part will come. So ninth will be user query, and instead of invoking chain, I will call it as invoking agent. Then print the output. final is display the output. Okay, so this is what we are going to follow. Now the first part will be setting up the OpenAI key. So I will write API key equal to, so I will write down the key as part of environment variable. Let's say OpenAI API key is the environment name, variable name. And once I'll set it up, I will get that environment key. And for that, I have to import this OS library, OS module. Okay, so this is the first step. Now, second is to load and split the document, right? So, loader, I will create loader equal to text loader demo.text. This is something I am doing. I am referring the same document, and then I have to import text loader. So text loader was in langchain community.document loader. Import langchain community dot document loader text loader. Okay. Okay, this is fine. So I have loaded my document. Now next step is load करने के बाद we have to split the document, right? So I will split the document. So text splitter, I'll use character text splitter. Uh, 1 second. Text splitter is this. Oh, what is happening? Text. Okay. And then splitted doc, I will find. And then character text splitter, langchain text splitters में से I have to. Okay, yeah, it is giving. Okay. Now next part is creating embeddings, right? So I'll create embeddings. Embeddings equal to OpenAI embedding. OpenAI API key I will provide as API key, which will be this particular. So it will be passed from this, whatever key I am providing here. And then I am, let's say, suppose using chroma DB. So I'll use chroma dot from document. Here I will give a splitted document, comma embedding. Embeddings. Directly I can provide like this. Okay. Now, chroma, this I have to import. So langchain community dot vector stores from langchain community dot vector store. So I will import chroma. So what I have done, I have first of all set it up my API key. I have loaded and splitted the data. Okay, and then I have created the embeddings. So this is what I have done, which I used to do normally when I'm implementing any use case. Next is initializing LLM. So chat OpenAI I will use, and I will use GPT-4o mini. Okay, and a, API OpenAI API key equal to API key temperature 0. I will keep. Okay, this is fine. Now what I will do, I will create a chain. Okay, so this is how I will create a chain. Chain type I can remove from here as of now, otherwise it will confuse you. And retriever equal to vector db dot as retriever I am giving. So this is the chain that I have created for the question answer. So if any question I will ask from my document where Raj's information is stored, right? So for that I'm creating this chain. Now define the tools. So this is very important, right? Defining the tool. So first tool I will define, let's say tool 1 is document search tool, which will do simple rag, right? Now I will define the name of the function which will be used for this document search tool, and like this. And okay, it has created the code by itself. So result here will be basically uh, I will be invoking QA chain, right? So this chain I will be invoking. So let me, okay, name it as QA chain. QA means question answer chain. So question answer chain, whatever I have created, what I will do here, results equal to, or result equal to QA chain dot invoke query, user query. And I will return whatever result I am getting. From that, I will extract out the result attribute from the dictionary. So the result key I will include. Now, very important thing. So whenever you are creating tools as a function, this matters. So this is a comment that you are giving inside every function that you are treating as a tool, right? And you are creating tools, so you have to use @tool annotation. Uh, okay. And किसमें से आ रहा है? What is langchain dot tools? No, not this one. One second. This tool will come uh, from langchain dot tools import tool. Okay. Okay. So this annotation you have to use, and then whatever you will write down this comment, it will be treated as a LLM instruction to LLM. So you can write, use this tool for answering questions from the provided document. And let's say I want to instruct one more thing, use bullet points to answer the question. And if you don't find the answer, this is common. Don't try to make up the answer. Okay, let's split these into different lines. So you can see this. This is a multi-line comment, right? So multi-line comment, you can put it as a first line. And this is how you define, you basically guide the tool selection by LLMs. Okay, so this is the first tool that I have created. Now, second tool I want to create. Second tool I want to create, what is tool 2? It will be DB search tool. So if DB search tool for products, electronic products. So for products, what I will do, I will create, first of all, create mock DB response. So in real time, what you will do, you will basically, what you will do, you will basically make the connection to DB, and whatever response your DB is giving, it will be returned as a JSON. So what we will do, we will just create a simple JSON file. So product DB ka response, let's say response, product DB mock response. Let's call it as mock response. So let's store some values inside it. Okay. iPhone, what is the current version of iPhone? I don't know. Uh, okay. iPhone, I have entered Samsung Galaxy S3. Okay, it is giving by itself. Very good. MacBook Air, MacBook Pro. Okay. So this is the mocked response I have created. DB ka mock response. Okay. Now what I will be doing? Next part. I will create a tool now. So I will use @tool, define def product DB search. And okay, it has created. Use this tool to search for product in the product database and return its detail. If the product is not found, say the product is not available. And here one more thing I will mention. Input provided by the user will be the product name. Okay. And give the output. So last tool output we have asked in bullet points. Now we will ask in numbered list. Give the output in numbered list format. Okay. Okay. And what it will do, product info name. Okay. So product name will come. What it is doing, product name response dot name dot. Okay, it is getting the response. 1 second, guys. Okay, so let me write my own code. Okay, let's remove it. So first step is to basically make the product name. So product name will be coming as a user query. So user will be just giving the product name in the query. So first step is to make it in lowercase. So I will make it like this. If product name in product DB response, right? Yes, this is correct. Then product, then return what? Then in that case, return. You will convert str, means you will fetch that dictionary item or JSON item. So like this, right? So what is happening here? This is the dictionary name. So this is a dictionary, nothing else, right? So JSON, I mean, we are talking in terms of JSON, but this is a normal Python dictionary. So from Python dictionary, how you can fetch any particular item? So you are providing product name. So this product name can be iPhone 15, ye or ye, whatever. So I'm fetching that dictionary ka value from this key. So product name is the key and fetched thing will be the value. And then I'm just converting it back to the string. Okay. So this is what I'm doing. If product name is there, then return that. Otherwise return the product is not available. Simple logic. Okay. Now what we will do next step. So this tool we have created. Now make list of all the tools. Make list of all the tools. So tools will be okay. What are the tools? Document search tool and product DB search tool. These are the tools, right? So we have created the tools. We have given the instructions in terms of comments in the function that we are using as a tool. And we have listed down all the tools. Now next is create AI agent. So AI agent, so in langchain, what happens? You are creating chains, right? So langchain में chains you are creating. And agent is one of the chains provided in langchain. So retrieval QA chain is there, and then agent is one of the chain. It is referred as chain only, but when we talk, so we call it as an agent. So when we are talking about creating an agent, so what we will do, we will create agent equal to. So create agent is a method. Create agent is the method. So there, what we will provide, model equal to LLM. What else? Tools equal to tools. So these things we will be providing. Okay. And create agent is something which will be imported langchain dot agent from langchain dot agent import create agent. Okay. Okay. So it has imported create agent. So this is how you will create the agent. Now, user query. Let's ask user query. first of all, query may let's give iPhone 15. That's it. So it should basically fetch the information of iPhone 15. And how we will invoke the agent? So response will be agent dot invoke and not directly query. So there is a way to invoke it. So we will be using this in dictionary format. So first of all, we have to use messages, and in messages, you will be providing role, user, and then query. Like this, we have to provide the query. So this is how we are invoking the agent. And how do you print the final output? Print agent response will be not directly response. Inside response, what we have to fetch? We have to fetch the message key, and then message means last message, so -1 message dot content. Or yeah, this is also fine, but okay, that let's do dot content. Okay, now I will unshare my screen for some time because I will set up my OpenAI API key and then I'll run this code. Let's see if it runs or not. We have created a very big code in a short. Okay. One second. AI. Okay. Copy this. And if what I will do, yes, and wait. Yes. I'll just share back my screen. Okay, it has returned some response. I think last time we haven't taken. Okay, so we have to fetch this response, right? Response, messages, human message, content. So यहाँ पे what we will do, we will get messages, okay, and then messages may we will get first and content. Okay, this is how we will return the response. Okay. इसको if I will run again, let's see. No, but this is okay. 1 second. I think no. It is still not able to give. This is human message we have retrieved. We have to, okay, content, it is not able to get. Description. Okay, tool message. Content name. Okay, this is tool. AI message me, that's what I was referring. Content is, no content is coming.
A message of one, there is a message.
Message one, right?
A message.
AI message. at first position.
Yeah.
AI message content. Okay, 1 second. Let's copy this. It is coming here, na AI message. Second, it is coming as AI message. This is messages, human message. Messages -1. Okay, what we will do, we will use JSON formatter here. Where, okay, what it is giving. Tab space, expected string not defined. I think I have copied everything correctly. Okay, wait. This is the response I am getting.
We have to access messages. Messages is an array.
Yeah,
Uh,
but which array? How many arrays are there? Not able to get it actually. I think probably the last one. Okay, human messages is the human message, AI messages. Response equal to messages -1. Okay. Messages -1 content, clean final code recommend. This is what I have given initially, right? Message -1 content. Last message. Okay. It was not printing anything. Let's see. Hmm.
did not save it.
We okay, did not save.
Save it. Yeah.
The last message is coming as a metadata, and it doesn't have any context, content, and
Should be dictionary only. Okay, now it is printing. Very strange. Initially, why it was not printing? Same thing I have given. Okay. Okay, ठीक है. So this, okay, see, it was able to, so user has given iPhone 15 here, and it was able to fetch from the DB tool. Now we will ask something different, which should be present in this demo.txt. Okay, where is Raj Sekhar located? Huh? Let me comment this out. Second query is, where is Raj Sekhar located? Okay, this I am asking. And you can see in this, when product DB search tool I have given, I have asked it to give the output in numbered list format, right? And you can see here it is given numbered list formats, right? 1, 2, 3. And in document search tool, I am asking use bullet points to answer the question. So let's see if it is able to fetch that information, and if that information is coming in bullet point or not. Okay, it came, na? Okay, answer came. Okay, so Raj Shekhar is located in New Jersey. Okay, so this is working fine, right? It is doing the tooling routing. So what is, how it is doing tooling routing? So first of all, user query is there, right? Now, based on user query, so we are invoking the agent. So we have invoked the agent first, right? Which you have seen. Now, agent will basically look inside. So based on user query, agent will see which tool to call, whether tool 1 to be called or whether tool 2 needs to be called. So tool 1 is basically, what was the function name? Document search tool tha na kuch, document search tool, and tool 2 was product DB search, right? Product DB search tool. So based on the comment that we have given inside the function, right? So those comments will serve as a guiding instructions to the LLM. So based on that, it will select these tools. So if it is selecting product DB search tool, what it will do, it will fetch the information and display the result, right? So it will just do display the result. And if it is selecting document search tool, so what it is doing, it will basically then inside of this function, it will call another chain, right? Retrieval QA chain. And it will call retrieval QA chain, and then it will retrieve, it will basically go to loading, embedding, blah, blah, blah. And then basically it will use vector DB. And from vector DB, it will search for the related chunks and then display the results. So this is how it is happening, right? And what kind of chains we are using? So retrieval QA chain is one chain here, and agent is also known as a chain in langchain. So this is the second chain. So this is how the redirection between the tools is happening. So, and this is how the whole workflow looks like in this particular case. Any doubt in this?
Hi, Abhinav.
Yeah. Hi, Sunny.
Why we are doing embedding?
So embedding, see, there is a rack pipeline, right? So rack pipeline, what is happening? So there are some predefined steps that you need to follow. First, you have to load the data. After loading the data, you have to split the data in. So splitting the data means, just say if there is a, let's say there is a book, okay, that book contains 1,000 words. So you will create chunks. Okay, so chunk means, so let's say you will create a chunk of 100 words. So you will pick 100 first 100 word, mark it as first chunk. Then you will pick next 100 word, mark it as second chunk, and so on. So that is known as splitting or chunking. After you do chunking or splitting, then computer basically understand in terms of numbers, right? So number, that chunk conversion of those chunk from text to numbers happen using embeddings. So embedding is something which will change the data to numerical representation. So all the data will be converted into numerical representation, and then it will be stored in vector DB. So
Uh,
that's That's how it is done.
So chunking will be happening at the first place, or it is happening dynamically when once user asks question and then it will
So
go.
this is how we have done. 1 second. See these are the steps that we have mentioned, right? First we have loaded the data. So this is how we are loading using the langchain APIs. Then we are splitting the data. This is how the chunks are formed, and we are providing how much chunk size should be there, chunk overlap, how much it should be there. And then this is how we are creating the embeddings. So these are the three sub steps which are creating and loading the data, which are loading the data and creating the embeddings.
So this is, we can say, it's a prerequisites before.
Yes. So when you are implementing RAG based retrieval system, so this is something that you have to follow, right? Like you import the files. So those are some necessary things that you have to do while running the code, right? So these are some of the necessary things that you need to take care before you can start using the RAG based retrieval chains.
And we can keep multiple tool as well. Like this case, we have two tools. We can have more as well.
So here you can, so more tools, this will be, instead of this chroma, you can have more tools. So there are tools like Pinecone is there, then FAISS is there, FICE is there. And instead of text loader, if your document is, instead of text, it is PDF, Word document. So there are different loaders there. So PDF loader is another class if you are dealing with PDFs. Then Word loader, document loader, something like that. Document loader is there for MS document. So
Right.
here you can,
He's asking about the tools that we created in an array. The tools DB query and document read from the document. We can add any number of tools.
yes, so
It
we can
doesn't
add
have.
any number of tools. Yeah. So this is just the example. So tool one is basically retrieving the data from RAG or vector DB. Tool two is DB search. You can create tool three, for example, uh, fetching the information from News API. News API is the API which programmers use to retrieve the data from the APIs directly rather than searching on the internet, endlessly. So News API is something which updates daily, which provides only news related information. So you can make third tool as fetching the information from News API. You can make fourth tool, let's say if you are working in an organization, to fetch some data from, let's say Jenkins API, not Jenkins API, Jira API. So you can make any tools basically, and this is how you register tool and you make the list of all those tools.
Just one question. Okay. There are different tools, and will be calling with the general method, like the way we are calling query, and then that final method
Yeah.
will
So
be.
you have to use @tool annotation to mark any function as tool, and
Oh,
then you will be making the collection or the list of all tools that you want to use. And
okay.
then when you are creating the agent, you have to provide these tools here, tools equal to tools.
And model is irrelevant.
So that way AI agent will understand that I have to refer to these tools while making the decision.
And model also can be vary. Like we have given
So
LLM,
yeah, that's what I was telling. यहाँ पे ना there are uh,
open chat, open AI.
यहाँ पे चैट ओपन एआई की जगह देयर आर वेरियस अदर मॉडल्स लाइक एंथ्रोपिक ओपन एआई, then Azure OpenAI, Gemini. So there are lot many models that you can use. And then if you are using any particular model, then you have to use the applicable or the uh, compatible embedding model also. For example, we have seen, right? We have used Llama.
Mhm.
So that way. So if we'll talk about the model, so Azure Chat OpenAI, Chat Anthropic, Chat Google Generative AI, Chat Ollama. So there are many models.
So how we will be knowing like which model will
So
suit
whatever
for our use
API
case?
key you are having, so if you have OpenAI API key, you have to use Chat OpenAI. If you have Anthropic key, Claude key, then you will use Chat Anthropic instead of Chat
No,
OpenAI.
that I got it. But how do I know based on our use case which
Hmm.
model will suit the best?
Based on model means so chat. So first thing you have decided, right? If your organization is giving you OpenAI API, then you have to go with chat OpenAI. You cannot change anything else here at this place, right?
Uh-huh.
यहाँ पे you will be using chat OpenAI if you have open API keys. Okay. Then next thing
So
is OpenAI embeddings you will use. Model, so you can try out different models. So GPT-4, GPT-4o, and GPT-5. So GPT-5 is a newer version. It will give you a less latency issue. I mean, the slowness. It will give you enhanced output also, but the costing will be more, right?
mhm.
So always start experimenting with some lower models which are not yet deprecated. If it is suiting well in your use case, you can stick with that. If not, then you can gradually increase the model number one by one to see which model suits best for your use case, because you have to find a fine line of difference between the costing as well as the quality of the result it is generating, right?
Yes, but any like the you have named Anthropic, OpenAI, so all of them can be used, and
No,
we
again,
can.
so okay, so in order to use LLM, okay, just name what all LLM keys you can get from market. You can get OpenAI API key, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can get Claude key, right? So
Cloud,
you have given, or
Gemini,
you can use Ollama, or you can use Google
Gemini.
Gemini, right?
Yeah,
So these are the options. Now let's see, your organization is deciding, okay, we will go with Claude. We will use Claude key. So they will arrange Claude key for you. Now, when they have arranged Claude key for you, now, so when you are creating LLM equal to this, so when you are using Claude key, so instead of chat OpenAI in this case, you will use chat Anthropic class, and inside uh, you will provide model equal to whatever Anthropic models are there. For example, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, some model is there, right? Something like this. So you will create your code as per the Anthropic standard. So here pe model you cannot give GPT-4 or GPT,
yeah,
that is a incompatible, right?
yes.
Now, if you decide to use Ollama, then you will create Ollama chat Ollama instance, right? That we have
Yeah,
seen in the.
that I got it. The syntax and the model will be different.
Hmm,
But at very first step, when company will decide which LLM they have to use,
hmm.
so it depends only on the budget or anything
So it
else.
depends on many factors. So we have discussed the IMOA layer, right? If you remember, infrastructure and model layer. So there are many deciding factors, right? That we have discussed there. So for example, let's say, I think uh, you remember we have discussed. Did I discuss that? I
Um,
am just recollecting that
Yep, yep,
we have discussed about it, right?
yep, yep. Yeah, we did.
So cloud providers, when so specialized cloud providers, self-hosting versus cloud, when we have to do it. So all those things, right? And I think vendor lock-in versus portability is the point where I was discussing, right? For example, if we want fast development, then we can go ahead and use the paid versions, paid APIs, right? And if, let's say, high scalability is the factor, then we can go ahead and use the open source LLMs in that case. And let's say if we need full ownership on the code that we are creating, then in that case, or if we need more customization from our sides, so in that case we can use the open source models. So there are various factors based on which we decide which model we have to use, whether to use open source model, whether to use paid model. So there are many deciding factors based on which we decide.
okay, thank you.
So yeah, I think this is about today's session. So I want to discuss on how the tooling happens using langchain. Now, next lecture, I'll try to create some use case using Crew AI. Then Crew AI, LangGraph, AutoGen, all three tools, I will create some of the use cases. We will discuss that. And then I believe we are done. Okay, so then there will be some additional governance and then how the agentic AI adoption should look in an organization, because you will be proposing a agentic AI adaptation within your organization, right? So how you can smartly propose the agentic AI adaptation step by step, we will discuss that also. And then there is one more workshop that I have designed, right? Which is about mindset engineering. So that also I will cover. Okay, one more thing. So I have taken one motivational session I want to take. Give me 1 minute. I'll copy paste some files and then I share it back. And then probably we can wrap up today's session. This is a motivational workshop, and I basically, uh, basically used to take these motivational workshop in any platform where I'm providing training. So let me share my screen back. Okay, so this is about the middle door of learning. Okay, so what is middle door of learning? Have anyone heard about Goldilocks, the name Goldilocks?
The screen is not. Oh, yeah.
I just shared back. So I will tell you what is Goldilocks. So Goldilocks, so we will discuss about Goldilocks zone. And Goldilocks was the name of a girl, and it was written by, the fairy tale was written by writer Robert Southey in 1837. And Goldilocks, what this girl character is famous for is that Goldilocks used to just do the things which are at just right level of difficulty. She do not love to do the tasks which are too easy, or she do not used to do the tasks which are too hard. It's just the right level of difficulty around the task which she chooses. So the Goldilocks rule is the idea that says that people experience peak motivation and focus when working on the task that are just the right level of difficulty. So this is a very simple concept, right? But it had influenced the whole world in a very big way. How? So it has influenced it has basically influenced in space and astronomy. And the NASA, whatever the Voyager and the mission it sets, it basically is based on Goldilocks zone concept. Why? Because see, if we'll take the example of our solar system, so Earth is a planet which is basically present. So there are three zones in our solar system. The zone which is basically too hot, and the zone which is basically too cold. So Earth basically lies in a habitable zone, which is just the right zone for the Earth, and that's where the life flourishes. In fact, Mars also lies in this habitable zone, and there are some theories which says that Mars was habitable in past, some thousands of years or millions of years back, and then slowly every life form from Mars got disappeared. So this is just a theory I'm telling you. But to give you an idea, so Earth is basically present in a habitable zone, so which is just the right zone for life to flourish. Now, when NASA is sending its Voyager and mission in other solar systems, so it is basically, first of all, it basically finds the Goldilocks zone in that particular solar system. So first, once it finds the Goldilocks zone for that particular solar system, not solar system, planetary system, I would say. So solar system is just meant for our solar system where sun is the star. For example, if you will take Kepler, so Kepler 186f. So Kepler 186f is a planet. Kepler 186 is their star around which the different planet revolves, and Kepler 186 system is what we will call in this context, not the solar system. It is Kepler 186 system. So whenever NASA is finding some planetary system and basically sets its mission, NASA basically finds out the Goldilocks zone in that planetary system, and then basically target only that Goldilocks zone, because Goldilocks zone is where the things happen, where the life basically forms. where there is a possibility of finding the life. So Kepler 186f, TRAPPIST 1f, Kepler 452b, Kepler 62f. These are some of the planets which NASA had discovered using the concept of Goldilocks zone, which are the potential candidate of life form. And how did the NASA, find out these planets? Using the concept of Goldilocks zone, which is just channeling into the zone, which is just right, not too hot, not too cold. So just the right, just the right zone. Now, this particular concept is applicable in space and astronomy, biology, medicine, technology, and engineering. And this is also applicable in any learning or personal growth that you are doing. So this is how the Goldilocks zone graph looks, which says, so it has three phases, right? Three sections, 1, 2, and 3. So x-axis denotes difficulty, y-axis denotes motivation. So if difficulty is very, very, very low to you, then that's where you feel boredom, lack of interest, and procrastination, right? If you're doing very easy thing as per your capability. Then if we look towards the zone 3, if that thing that you are doing is very tough or very difficult, then that's where the anxiety, frustration, imposter syndrome basically happens to you. Now, when we talk about the zone number 2, which is Goldilocks zone, so Goldilocks zone is where you find the peak motivation and focus. And if you will basically focus your learning or doing on this Goldilocks zone, then you will see an iterative growth. So I will just name these three zones. So first zone, let me name it as too easy. 1 second. Second zone is Goldilocks zone, and third zone is basically too difficult, too difficult zone. So there are three zones, and second zone is 1 second. Second zone is Goldilocks zone, GZ. Let me mention. This is Goldilocks zone. Now, idea is, so whenever you are doing any new work, first, if you want to excel in that work or in that field, so first what you have to do, you have to first identify your Goldilocks zone. I'll take a example also. Then what you have to do, you have to adjust your learning pattern and activities so that it falls in your Goldilocks zone. After that, what you have to do, so you will keep on doing those activities for 1 or 2 months. What will happen? The Goldilocks zone will shift now. So whatever is falling in your Goldilocks zone will fall in too easy zone now. And your Goldilocks zone will shift towards too difficult. So you have to detect that plateau, detect plateau. And once the plateau is detected, now identify shift in Goldilocks zone and recalibrate. And you just have to repeat forever. So if you'll repeat forever, you will become unbeatable in that field. So we will take one example here. Okay. So I need one volunteer here. Anyone can volunteer. Deepak, Meghna, Raj, Sarthak, anyone who wants to volunteer? Deepak.
I can volunteer.
Okay. Okay, Meghna. Okay. Now let's say how we can apply this Goldilocks zone. Okay. Let's see. You are taking agentic AI training, right? Agentic AI training. So what are high level topics that you are learning? First is Python, then AI fundamentals, then ML, then deep learning, then agentic AI. Okay. Now you will pick these topics one by one, and in each of these topics, you have to find your Goldilocks zone. Okay. Now let's take an example of Python in this case. So Python. So we will talk about first zone, which is too easy zone. So Meghna, you can tell me what are some of the things that you find in Python too easy now? I mean, at this particular stage currently.
I mean, compared to what we are learning now, everything in Python is pretty easy.
So Python
Uh,
basics, I would say, then conditional statements, for loop, everything. I mean, and the print
yeah,
statement. So if
conditionally, yeah.
yeah, so
List.
that will be too easy. And if someone will give you very easy examples on finding the output of a simple print statement, it will be boring for you for after some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this will fall under too easy zone. Now let's talk about Goldilocks zone here. So when we talk about Goldilocks zone, so what you can think in Python, what is your Goldilocks zone currently? So how to identify Goldilocks zone? So you have to basically, so for Goldilocks zone, so the things on which you will struggle a little bit and you can follow most of the things. You make small mistake, but solving the problem feels satisfying. So that is where you have to decide your Goldilocks zone. So probably doing Python mini projects, right? And what else?
Uh, Maybe pandas and data frames,
NumPy,
NumPy.
pandas, matplotlib, right? So these are something when you will be revising or you will be doing Python problems. So you will focus. So your Goldilocks zone is this. For some other person, this Goldilocks zone can differ, right? Now, when we talk about third zone, which is too difficult zone. So what is something which you can think in Python, which if you will, invest now, you will become a little bit anxious or frustrated because it is for now it is too tough for you in Python.
Uh, um, I'm
Probably
moving
advanced
to,
topics, right? Advanced
yeah,
topics
I was, yeah,
like I'll tell you, I will guide you. So advanced topic like fast APIs, this is something you might not be knowing right now. Then Django. So these are some of the advanced Python framework, advanced Python framework. So these are something if directly they will ask, if directly I'll ask questions, you will feel little bit anxious, right? Because you don't know them. And right now it is little bit difficult for you to grasp. So this is how you define your Goldilocks zone for anything in your life, in your learning, any particular topic, at your workplace also. So just make sure from the next time, whenever you are doing the goal setting with your manager, just try to select the goals which falls under your Goldilocks zone. That's how you will be motivated at workplace, and that's how you will achieve the maximum. So just remember this concept, Goldilocks zone concept. So you have to find your Goldilocks zone in anything that you are doing in your life. Now, what will happen? So let's say you are focusing on your Goldilocks zone for now. You will start working. You will start doing mini projects and MCQs on these concepts. After 2 months, this will basically shift towards too easy zone now. And whatever and side by side you are doing the POCs on these fast APIs, Django, let's say advanced Python framework. Slowly, what will happen? This will the Goldilocks zone, whatever was there, will shift in too easy zone, and this will become your new Goldilocks zone after 2 or 3 months. Then once this is your new Goldilocks zone, you will lock in into these topics, whatever is being shifted to the new Goldilocks zone, and then you will start working on it. And soon, what will happen? This will also become too easy for you after some time, and that's how, if you'll keep working on it, it will give you the iterative growth, right? So what happens? So people are beginner first, then they become intermediate level expert, then they become advanced level expert in any field if they follow Goldilocks zone. After advance, what will happen if they will keep on working? They will become architect, mentors, researcher, founder, thought leaders, innovators. So if you keep improving by shifting your Goldilocks zone, you will become legacy builder in your field. Okay. And every one of you has the potential to become a legacy builder. It's just that you have to understand your current Goldilocks zone and then keep on working towards improving it. And never underestimate your potential, right? So people, let's say there are many people who are beginners. They started learning Python. After 10 days, they stop learning Python because they are not targeting their Goldilocks zone. They are basically, most of the people who quit are basically falling in this category, too difficult. So they directly jump the gun. They start reading the too difficult concept initially before, solidifying their base, and that's how they quit, because it feels too difficult. It gives them the anxiety, it gives them the frustration and imposter syndrome, and then that's why they drop off in between. So just remember, you have to start gradually from beginner to intermediate to advanced, and then after advanced you have to become a legacy builder in whatever field you are working. Even if you'll take the example of some sport, right? So the champions like Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, they have started as a beginner, right? They have started as a beginner. They have identified their Goldilocks zone. They have kept improving, working on their Goldilocks zone. That's where they have the continuous motivation running, right, in their bloodstream. And they kept on shifting their Goldilocks zone. And now every one of them is a legacy builder, because the motivation was always alive since last 20-25 years. And how they were able to keep their motivation alive, it is because they were adjusting their current capabilities and current practice and current actions as per what is falling in their current Goldilocks zone. And whenever they master that, they shift their Goldilocks zone so that they iteratively gets on improving, endlessly, forever. So that's how people build legacy, and that's how people become master in their field. I hope this makes sense, right? Cool. So yeah, I mean, you can give it a thought on this also, how you basically, identify your Goldilocks zone in whatever activity you are undertaking. Plan it creatively, and that's how you will get endless motivation in anything where you are not finding motivation, or where you are, too anxious to pick that particular thing. So that's how you can adjust. Okay, cool. I think that's pretty much it for today's session. So next session, we will pick an example of Crew AI and probably LangGraph also, and we will build some quick Python code around it. And then we'll see how it goes, how much more time we will take to finish off all agentic AI part. Okay, anything else before I wrap up this call? Cool. I think that's pretty much it for today then. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated about the future sessions. Probably tomorrow I may not be taking the session, because for Crew AI and AutoGen, I need some time to create the demos around it. But I'll keep you posted. I'll confirm you tomorrow morning, whatever may be the case. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day ahead and have a happy weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.